Greetings traveler and welcome to another one of my speed builds. For today our travels bring us to Tortosa and we're building 4 colorful townhouses inspired by the ones in Havana, Cuba. I talked about this build in my last video, and if you didn't watch that, I finished Assassin's Creed Black Flag in February and it really inspired me to build something that is similar to all the colorful houses that are in the town of Cuba in the Havana, in the game. And that's basically what inspired this whole idea. And after doing further research on Cuban houses, specifically the ones in Havana and hotels, I really loved how they combined these traditional rundown like plaster walls along with a combination of modern furniture with some more vintage and antique pieces and antique artwork. So that's what I wanted to do with these houses, and I can say that all of them have different styles, but they basically are transitional. They have both the traditional and the modern elements, except I think for the pink one, which is more on the traditional side. And like I said in my last video, I couldn't furnish all 4 townhouses. I was only able to finish 3 of them, and that's because this build is so huge that my laptop couldn't handle it. When I reached like the 3rd townhouse, it was already lagging too much, so I decided just to furnish the 3rd one and stop. So the 4th townhouse, which is the green one, is completely empty on the inside. The first floor was supposed to be a cafe, so you could probably do that if you decide to furnish it yourself, or you could do something else with it, but I built it in a way that the first floor is a cafe and the 2nd floor is the residential. So yeah, in terms of gameplay, this is not a good build for it, but if you have a powerful PC, then you're probably good to go. And if your PC can handle it, you can just do whatever you want with the 4th townhouse. If your laptop can handle it, of course, or you could just leave it empty like I did. And if even this is too much for your PC to handle, then you could probably do something like choose one of the townhouses for your gameplay and just empty the rest, like delete all the furniture from the inside. I think that would help immensely with the performance. So I'm sorry, I do have other builds that are more gameplay friendly, but this definitely isn't one of them. So in terms of gameplay, I'm not sure how you would play with a house like this. There are a few possibilities. One of them would be to have a household on this lot, like probably a few different families, like up to 4 different families, and then you can designate each townhouse to one of the families by playing with the lock system in the game. So you would lock a door to one of the townhouses except for the family that lives in that townhouse, if that makes any sense. This way you can have a bunch of different Sims living on the same lot but still have some sort of separation between them. Another option would be to use the roommate system. That way you can have your main household in your townhouse of choice, and then you can have a roommate or roommates in the other houses. I've actually never played with the roommate system before, so I'm not sure how it works. if you can have multiple roommates or just one, but I think that you can do that with this lot. Like have each roommate have their own townhouse or something like that. The last option I can think of is to run some sort of hotel on this lot, which you can't do just with the game. You're gonna have to install some mods. I'm not even sure if there are any mods that allow you to run a hotel, but if there are, do let me know so I can put that like in the description or somewhere for the people who want to do that sort of thing with this lot. So now I'm furnishing the first townhouse, which is the pink one, and I know that the exterior part was really short, but I didn't want to show the whole thing because the video is already like over 30 minutes long, so showing everything would have made it like at least 40 minutes long, which I definitely didn't want to do. But don't worry, you're not missing out on anything important regarding the exterior. Pretty much it's a very repetitive process for all 4 townhouses, so you didn't really miss out on anything. Regarding this pink townhouse, I think it's the most like traditional one out of all 4, and it's really quirky and colorful, and it's more like on the maximalist side. In my research, I've seen a few photos, like I said, with these rundown plaster walls, so I kind of did something like that with this townhouse. I added some cracks and stuff like that to the walls, but if that's not a look that you want, you can just delete them. I went for the stains and the cracks that come with the vampire pack and also cats and dogs. There are quite a few of them, so if you're gonna delete them, they're gonna take a little time. And I have to say, I love all 3 kitchens I did for these townhouses. I can't pick a favorite between them, or maybe I can, I don't know, we'll see, but I love all 3 of them. I think that each one of them is fun and unique in its own way. So the pink townhouse also happens to be the biggest out of all four, and it's also the only one that is 4 stories high. However, the fourth floor isn't actually a fourth floor because I deleted its floor and I let the ceiling of the third floor go all the way up to the fourth floor. So the third floor has a double height ceiling. I hope that makes sense. I do use this trick a lot in my build, especially if there is an extra floor somewhere that I don't want to furnish. I just delete the floors so that the floor below gives this illusion of a very, very high ceiling. And it's overall a good trick if you're sometimes lazy like I am. So this townhouse has 3 bedrooms, one that you just saw, and there are 2 more on the floor above this. And for all 3 townhouses, I took the color of the exterior and also used it in the interior. So for this pink townhouse, I did use a lot of pink for each and every single room, but I did also use other colors. It's not just pink. For the children's bedrooms, they are both pink and they both have this very princessy sort of vibe. Oh, I just remembered there are actually 3 bedrooms upstairs, not just 2. So yeah, there are actually 4 bedrooms in this house. I completely forgot one of the rooms. So 2 of the bedrooms, like I said, have this very princessy vibe, and one of them I think is like for a teenager, and she's very into nature and forests and such, so she has a very interesting room, I would say. You're gonna see it, of course. It's a very like maximalist room, but it's still very cute. There are a lot of plants and a lot of foresty wallpapers, a lot of lights, and it has an interesting layout, which you're gonna see, of course. So I hope you like it. So the second townhouse that I'm furnishing is the yellow one actually, so I don't know why I went for this green and maroon interior, but you can see that I did add a few pops of yellow. And for this townhouse, I decided to go a little more modern with some of the furniture, and I think this kitchen is actually my favorite out of all three kitchens. I just love the combination of these two colors together. They look really pretty. And I think this build is where I used the Chateau Kitchen by Felix Andre for the first time, so I was absolutely obsessed with it. I still am, of course, but I just can't stop using it. And I feel like in this kitchen specifically, I just used it to its full potential. I used just every single piece of it, and yeah, I just absolutely love it. And something that I'm gonna do with the windows is something I think is very interesting. So I didn't want to add like shutters or curtains. I just didn't feel like they fit with the space that they're gonna take up some extra space, and they just didn't seem right to me. So I thought I would add like some sort of oval shutter or oval lid that you can presumably use to close the window, and there isn't actually anything like that in the game, so I thought I'd use a couple of paintings as shutters. So I placed them at the side of each window and rotated them to like give the illusion that you can open and close them. So yeah, I just absolutely love that idea. In terms of the bathrooms, I didn't show each and every single one of them. I think each townhouse has at least a bathroom and a half. I think one of them has more, but I'm not so sure. So the two bathrooms that I did show so far are pretty similar and they have the same colors and everything. But there is one bathroom that I wanted to show in the video, but I couldn't because, like I told you, my laptop was lagging so much, so I didn't show it. But you're gonna see it in the screenshots, and it's the main bathroom of the blue townhouse. And for the half bathrooms, I didn't show them because they're not really interesting and they're quite small. But anyway, I just wanted to say that I really love this bedroom here. It has this very boho vibe. It's very light and airy, and I absolutely love the colors. It's just very cozy. And I thought I'd add room for either a toddler or an infant here. I think this is also the first time I've built something for an infant. It's a really cute room, and you can see I'm using this orange color for almost the whole floor, And again, I'm not sure why I didn't use any yellow because the townhouse is yellow. But I guess like orange is close enough to yellow, so that was probably my thought process. I don't know. And for this townhouse, actually, this floor also opens all the way up to the floor above it. So this floor also has a double heighted ceiling. I mean, I just couldn't imagine if I actually left them as actual floors and furnished them. I probably wouldn't be able to go through with it. I probably just would have furnished two townhouses. So in this case, I'm glad that I was lazy and I just did that trick. I think in this townhouse there's only a parent's bedroom and a bedroom for the infant. In terms of the living rooms, I absolutely love this one. It's my favorite. But I also really like the one from the townhouse before. So I love both of them, but I think I love this one more. And for the interior of this townhouse, I used blue in combination with this terracotta color, like this burnt orange. And I also really love this kitchen, like I mentioned before. However, on the other side of the kitchen, I wanted to have like this metal rod underneath the shelving, but the rod that I used here creates this really weird, intense shadow, like you can see. So this part of the kitchen looks very dark because of that, and I just didn't realize it until later. So I probably should have used some other type of rod instead of this one. I think this is the one that comes with the Precious Promises set by Pierre Sim and Charlie Pancakes. So yeah, that's my only regret regarding this kitchen. I'm not sure why these rods create this shadow, but I don't think it's something that you can fix. So yeah, we're almost done with this build. This townhouse is only 2 stories, and you can see that the editing here is different. I used this delete then undo sort of editing style because this is where my laptop was lagging a lot, so I couldn't furnish normally. So I hope you don't mind that, but other than that, thank you very much for watching. If you want to download this build, you can download it either from my gallery or from Patreon for free or from CurseForge. The links are in the description, of course. And please stay for the walkthrough in the end because I do use the end song from Assassin's Creed Black Flag, which I love. And see you again in my next video. Bye!
all the money that e'er I had, I spent it in good company. And all the harm that e'er I've done, alas, it was to none but me. And all I've done for want of a wit, to memory now I can't recall. So fell to me the parting glass. Good night and joy be with you all. Oh, all the comrades that e'er I had, they're sorry for my going away. And all the sweethearts that e'er I've loved, they'd wished me one more day to stay. But since it falls unto my lot that I should rise and you should, I'll gently rise and softly call. Good night and joy be with you all. Good night and joy